This is A-Game. Fast acting, long lasting, with no side effects.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your host, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So what we're talking about today is how Black women sacrifice more in relationships than men do. This is the common thought and the common sentiment among many Black women who feel like they come into relationships and they just give all of this stuff and the man doesn't give anything and they don't get anything back in return. We've seen plenty of women saying it in various different ways. Some of them are angry and bitter. Some of them are speaking in ways that make you think they know what they're talking about. I have a clip for you to watch. I want you to watch this clip and I want you to listen carefully to what she said, because once she's done, we're going to come back and we're going to cook this situation. So I am going to go ahead. I am going to share the screen, and here we go.
Actually sacrificing more because we don't get our looks back, our tits start sagging, our ass starts getting flat. We ain't got time to be playing with y'all like that.
Just
No, marry me or let me keep it moving, because at the end of the day, I can't keep playing these games like y'all can keep playing these games.
Yeah, but you ain't
it doesn't make any sense. It's a sacrifice as well. Give me my insurance because I'm taking care of your kids. That shit is hard. I'm taking care of the home. You got somewhere cozy and clean to come home to, because if you were by yourself, you would just come home to your pissy ass toilet, you're half a fucking shower curtain, and that's how you got to live. But when you have a female, she's going to take care of home and make sure everything's good and give you a good space to work in. So our good years are gone. Y'all are still old, getting money and still having young girls, sugar babies and all kinds of stuff and living your best life, driving a Ferrari. And now I'm all older, you know, my ass is sagging, my titties are sagging. And where's my insurance if you didn't marry me? Like, what do I get out of that? Out of taking care of you? Like, where's our insurance? A female.
Okay, so you were able to hear what she had to say. Now, to the naked ear, she's making perfect sense. What she's saying is, hey, don't waste my time. Women are valued for their youth and beauty and fertility and all of this good stuff that we lose as we get older. So don't string us along and drag us along in these relationships. You don't really want anything to do with me. You know, you're taking benefit from me. You're taking benefit from that youth and benefit from that fertility and benefit from that beauty. And when I don't have it anymore, you're going to basically dish me to the side because you never actually married me or committed to me. And so therefore I just hit the wall without any insurance at all. Like I said, to the naked ear, she's making perfect sense. But when you take a look at it, the whole entire argument falls apart. He actually demolished the argument in the beginning of the clip when she said, we don't have time to be playing with y'all. And he said, so stop playing. That right there negated everything that she said after that. And the reason why that negated everything that she said after that is because several layers of that is cap. Most women are out here living a city girl life. Most women are out here living a Magic City life. You all, when you guys are young, when these hyenas are young, they are not looking for marriage. These men are coming around, and yeah, it's a good percentage of the guys that want to have a fun time because that's how she's presenting herself, as a fun time. But then there are also those men who are coming around who are saying, look, you're young, you're pretty, you know what I'm saying? You may have potential. I see you kind of out here doing the city girl thing, but I think that you're young enough and I have enough system, order, and structure that I should be able to get you, and I can work with you and see what you got. See what kind of femininity I can get out of you. See what kind of wife material you're made of and all of these sorts of things. The vast majority of you don't do that. The vast majority of you don't want that. You don't want men to marry you. You want to be out there, you know, you here for a good time, not a long time, and all of that, all these little sayings. and you're living your best life, and you got this thing to do, and you've got that thing to do, and you've got, you know what I'm saying, all these things, quote unquote, going for you that you don't want a man to stop you from doing or prohibit you from doing it. So you're the one that put off commitments and marriages and things like that until you're in your 30s, until you're done running the street, until, you know, so many X amount of guys done broke your heart, and, you know what I'm saying, you done got into these different relationships and they was toxic and they didn't work and blah, 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 blah. And all of this sort of thing that you were doing, and then you get to a point, you know, after a couple of kids and all of that type of stuff, now you see the value in family and settling down and being a wife, all of which, mind you, you don't know how to do because you didn't cultivate that skill set. You didn't cultivate a wifely skill set. So therefore, since you didn't cultivate a wifely skill set, getting into your 30s doesn't magically make you a wife. Just because you're tired of being in the street doesn't mean you automatically know how to be a wife now because you don't want to be in the street anymore. So with that being said, that's cap. The other part of it that's cap as well, that falls apart, is this. If you are wife material and you are looking for a husband, why are you spending this inordinate amount of time with a man who has not expressed that he wants to commit to you in a marriage? Men are very decisive when it comes to that. The only men who aren't are the F boys. They don't want to be decisive when it comes to it. The only thing that they've decided is that they want to smash a bunch of chicks. That's the only thing that they've decided. But when you come upon real men, when you come upon masculine men, okay, when you come upon lions, they are very direct about the things that they are looking for, the things that they want to do, okay? A man is saying, listen, I want a wife. I'm at a point in my life, a stage in my life, or, you know, or whatever, where I don't want to just deal with these city girl type women. I don't want just a chick that's coming through that's going to be a good time. I've had those. They nice, but I'm not looking for that because she doesn't bring to me the things that I need a wife to do. She's only what she is. She's a good time, and I've had a good time. I'm not looking for a good time anymore, at least not in that way. I'm not looking for that anymore. I'm looking for a wife. And they come and they say that. When they say it to you, they are saying, I think you might actually be a wife. Let me begin my vetting process for you to see if my instinct was correct in this manner. Was my first take of you actually correct? Was my initial assessment of you actually correct? So we're going to go through this vetting process. The issue with that is that women don't understand men, and they don't understand their vetting processes. So a lot of times women become very impatient if the man's pace is a bit slower because he's actually taking time. He's actually taking time to look at you, to examine who you are, to see what you're made of, to see what kind of value system you have, and whether or not that value system goes along with his. That's what he's really looking at. What do you do? Like, what are you made of as a woman? Are you only a Magic City girl? Are you only all about the tats and the blunts and the cussing and the, you know what I'm saying, living your best life and twerking? And like, are you all about that? And let's say you're at a different level. Let's say you're not the twerker. Let's say you're more of a professional career type woman. Okay, that's fine. You're a little bit more educated. You might be a little bit more refined, but you still have the city girl mindset. You still have this independent, I'm a boss chick, or I'm a city girl, or, you know what I'm saying, type of situation where you're not going to submit to a man's mission. You aren't going to do that. You aren't going to nurture his vision. You aren't going to see to him. You aren't going to support him. Just like the video I did a few days ago with the lady talking about how what she's not going to do, a whole laundry list of she's not going to support, she's not going to do this, she's not going to do that. This is what you come with. This is what a lot of Black women come with. So because you don't understand what a man does, there's no amount of wife things, quote unquote, that you're gonna do to convince a man to marry you if he don't actually see you that way, or if that's not what he's in the market for. So you popping up doing so-called wife stuff on girlfriend time, y'all think that's the man's problem. Y'all blame the men for that. But actually, this is your issue. This is your problem, something you need to look at, because it's not the actions that's problematic. It's how you approached it that's problematic, because a wife is a wife is a wife. A woman is going to come in and she's going to be feminine and she's going to be wifely. She's going to do that with every dude. The thing about it, though, what makes the difference between these chicks that's out here being chameleons and on that conditional femininity stuff and a lioness who's actually already and always feminine is that a lioness understands where her talents are wasted. Aha. That's what we understand. When we come across men who we think may have he's acting like he wants to choose us. So we're putting ourselves in position to be chosen, or so-called the pick me. Once we understand that this man actually doesn't have a mission that we are to submit to, he doesn't have good system, order, and structure, and these sorts of things, and he just kind of wants to play. And by play, we understand that too much time is going by, and he's not being definitive in what he's saying. So a lioness that's about her business doesn't waste time with guys talking about, oh, well, we in the talking stage and we just gonna see where it goes, because we know we don't have time for that. We know that as women, our external beauty and fertility and all of these biological things have a time limit, has an expiration date, okay? We already know that. And this isn't stemming from penis envy or anything. It's just that we understand. So because we understand, that means we know when we run into a time waster and when not. So we don't blame the men for quote unquote wasting our time. We just have to have the discernment to understand when our time is going to be wasted, potentially. So dudes that's talking about, oh man, we don't have to define what's going on. We could just kick it like this indefinitely. No, lionesses do not kick it indefinitely. That was the definition of a hyena, what she just got through talking about. Only hyenas don't use any discernment, and they try to keep up the chameleon act for as long as possible, and then they get mad when the guy doesn't marry him, probably because he knew you were a chameleon. He was just waiting on you to drop the facade. Like, stop. Because he knew you were a chameleon, because he knew he wasn't on nothing. So why are you staying? Any woman worth her salt, any lioness worth her salt would never deal with him more than a little bit. Just the once she caught wind of what was really going on, it's like she's out of there. You know what I'm saying? I bid you a fond farewell. You know, we don't have to be bitter or anything like that. Or, it doesn't have to be any bad blood or anything, because a feminine woman leaves situations gracefully, you know what I'm saying, and with honor and class. So we don't have to stoop down to no hyena levels to do nothing. We just move on quietly. That's all that we do. Just move on quietly until we find a lion that actually is being very decisive and definitive about, and very clear about what he's saying. Because when men want to get married, again, they make their intentions very clear. Listen, this is what I'm out here doing. This is what I'm doing. This is my program. This is my mission. This is my purpose. These are the things that go on in my life. Can you be a part of that? Are you willing to be a part of it? And are you able to be a part of it? A productive part of this? If not, he bid you a fond farewell. And if so, he invites you into his life. And that's the long and short of it. Her argument falls to pieces when you actually take a look at what she's saying. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. A lot of these women spend time in these relationships, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, kids and everything, with a man that couldn't care less about it. That's on you, because he can only tell you so many lies over so many times. You're not paying attention to what's going on. You're not looking at actions versus words. This is on you. This is your desperation. You want desperate to be in a relationship. You can't tolerate, you know what I'm saying, that your time is wasted and all that type of stuff. So you keep on staying, hoping that he's going to change his mind and change his stance when it comes to you. And he never does. And then that's how you become bitter. You finally break it off. Now you're bitter. Doesn't work. Doesn't pay to be a hyena. The other thing that it doesn't pay to be is Black Lives Matter as an organization, because we are on their heads. This is what we've got. We've got a petition against Black Lives Matter as an organization. The link for that petition is in the description box. And what we're doing is taking them to task over the more than $90 million worth of donated funds that they absconded with, they utilized in ways that were not conducive to the community and only conducive to themselves. So if you want to be part of holding Black Lives Matter accountable, all you have to do is jump in the description box and hit the link for the petition, sign it, share it, and contribute to it. Also, sound off in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.